Recently, I haven't been sleeping as much, and I wondered how this would affect my mental health. So I asked, how does sleep affect one's mental health? Sleep is very important and should be valued and should be a need, not a want. First, let's try and understand how sleep works and what it does. From what we understand, there are two types of sleep: REM, or rapid eye movement sleep, and non-REM sleep. The first cycle is the non-REM sleep, which has 4 stages. The first one comes between being awake and falling asleep. The second is light sleep, when your breathing rate, heart rate, and body temperature drop. And stages 3 and 4 are deep sleep. Previously, REM was thought to be the more important sleep for memory and learning, but newer studies state that non-REM is actually more important for these tasks and seen to be the more restful state of the two. And as you enter REM sleep, your brain waves are similar to when you are awake. Your breath rate increases and you are temporarily paralyzed as we dream. And you cycle through non-REM and REM sleep around 5-6 times, but after each cycle, time in stages 3 and 4 are shortened and more time is spent during REM. Now going back to answering my question. According to studies done, inadequate sleep does a ton of bad to you mentally and physically. From the simple tired to the complex depression, it can do it all. But if we're talking specifically about mental illnesses, studies say that mental health and sleep are closely tied. Not sleeping enough is extremely harmful to your consolidation of positive emotional content. This can influence your mood and emotional reactivity and is linked to mental health disorders and can include the risk of suicidal thoughts or ideas. And the more we study, the more we link sleep and mental health, and the importance of it to stay healthy in the mind. Here are some specific illnesses the lack of sleep causes. Depression. It is stated that over 300 million people worldwide have it, and around 75% of them have symptoms of insomnia, which is a sleep illness. Anxiety disorders. It is stated that 20% of adults and 25% of teenagers in America are affected. These disorders can put excessive fear in people that affect their day-to-day lives. Anxiety and sleeping problems are very closely tied. Worry and fear contribute to a state of hyperarousal in which the mind is racing, and is considered to be a central contributor to insomnia. And the worry can cause anticipatory anxiety, which can make it harder to fall asleep. Some other ones are bipolar disease, schizophrenia, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, and interaction on mental health conditions are just a few more things that could happen. Now let's go over what happens when you're sleepy, because this kind of ties in with bad sleep. Being sleepy slows down your brain processing ability, impairs your memory, makes learning new things difficult, and slows down your reaction time. It is never recommended to drive while sleepy. Since we never know what could happen when we drive, having an impaired reaction time may cause serious accidents while driving. Now, we have covered mental health. What about emotional health? Your emotions are controlled by the amygdala. Studies have shown that people who are sleep deprived have 60% more activity in the amygdala than people who weren't sleep deprived, which is not good. People who are sleep deprived are more likely to be irritated by small things and get angry over things they normally would. That's the amygdala going to work. More activity means more emotions. In conclusion, I found what I needed to know. Sleep and mental health are more linked than I thought, and getting a good night's rest is really important. Not getting a good night's rest for one day, maybe whatever, but if you keep cutting your sleeping time, your mental, emotional, physical health are all going to plummet and it won't be the same. But what about my experiences with sleep? I feel the complete opposite, to be honest. Obviously, I'm not a scientist, and I'm the only one doing this experiment instead of like hundreds and thousands of people. But whenever I get 2 to 3 hours of sleep, I feel great. Wake up energized and get ready to do stuff. I'm always in a better mood. I don't really get angry and kind of laugh everything off. But whenever I get 8 to 10 hours of sleep, I'm lazy, drowsy, and just not in the mood to do things. Also, I get irritated for no reason. My mom was late for lunch by 20 minutes, and I'm just pissed off. Not in the mood to talk. But hey, you can't argue with science, and maybe everything I experience is a placebo. And me not getting adequate sleep definitely is not benefiting me in the long run. Thank you.